Yuck! There's so much junk in my downloads folder. I want to just delete it all, but what if there's something I need? I'll show you how to slice and dice that downloads folder and delete things really quickly. But more importantly, I'll show you some good techniques and shortcuts for making decisions about what to keep or what to get rid of. Because what if you downloaded a Word document into the downloads folder and made some changes to it, but it lives in the downloads folder, not in your documents folder? I'll show you a good tip for those. How do you even make sense of this mess? It's a whole mix of different kinds of files, 128 items, maybe there's 1,000 items or 1,500. It's 15 years worth of downloads. So step one is just make the window a little bit bigger so that you've got more room to work. I would move it up to the top left corner and then drag the bottom right down to just make it bigger. And then I always use list view. So go to the view menu up here and view as list. That's Command 2 on the keyboard. And then make sure you have the right columns turned on. So the ones that I recommend are date modified, kind, and date added. So the way you get those, the way you add those in if you don't see those, is go to the view menu and then show view options. And then just turn those columns on. You want date modified on, you want date added on, and you want the kind on. Date added means when was this thing put into this folder, which is handy for downloads because that tells you what was the date that you downloaded it. So when did it land in this folder? Date modified is when did you make changes to this file, and having the kind turned on allows you to group things together by category. Once you have them listed like this in list view, then sort by kind. So you just click the kind header up here, and you'll see suddenly it starts to be a little more workable. Things are grouped together based on what type of thing it is. And list view like this, it allows you to do really cool stuff. You can select multiple things just by dragging vertically in the white space here, in the space between the name and the date. You just drag straight, click and drag straight down, and it will highlight that whole batch of disk images. These are installers. But once you've got them highlighted and once you have them all grouped together like this, oh boy, they are in trouble. In step two, we are going to be doing some deleting. So the keyboard command for deleting a whole batch of files like this, of course you can drag them to the trash, but that's no fun. Hold down the command key on the keyboard and press delete, and that just moves all of those into the trash all at once. And so you can do that. You can look at these different groupings of things and look for batches that you really don't need. Nobody needs these these are calendar invites, ICS files. Click and drag in the white space here to highlight all of those. Hold command on the keyboard, press delete, they're gone. Then there's these installers, maybe Zoom installers, whatever. You click and drag to highlight this batch, hold command, press the delete key. You get the idea. You can delete big batches of stuff pretty quickly. These zip files, usually you don't need, Mac Keeper, Mac Cleaner, things like that. Of course, if it says weddingphotos.zip, you're going to want to keep that, so don't delete those because you want to make sure you have them. You want to unzip it and you want to look inside of it to see that you have it. But when it's obvious garbage like Mac Keeper, Mac Sweeper, whatever, hold command on the keyboard, press delete. Bye-bye. Step three, let's get the images out of your downloads. Maybe they're photos, maybe they are just images that you've downloaded, whatever. My recommendation for that is just get them all into the Photos app down here. Ideally, your photos are syncing through iCloud. So when you add them into the Photos app, it copies them into your iCloud photo library, and then you can delete them out of the downloads folder. There is a chance that you will get some duplicates when you do that. I have a video about deleting duplicates in the Photos app using the latest macOS Ventura, so check that out if you do get some duplicates. But I say, hey, it's better to have duplicates in the Photos app than it is to have a whole bunch of photos in downloads and you don't know if you have them or not. Essentially, you've got photos all over the place. Let's round them up and deal with duplicates later. So if you want to get these photos into the Photos app, you just click the first one here, scroll down a little ways, and then on the keyboard, hold Shift, and then click on the last one. So here I've got all the HEIF images, HEIC, and then the JPEG images as well. I'm just going to click and drag to bring these into the Photos app. So if I click on Photos, it'll be a little easier. If I've got that open, move it over like this. Now I just drag from here to here. So I'll drag these images over onto the library. And the Photos app is really, it's smart. It'll say, hey, you've already got this duplicate item. Do you want to import it? And so I would say don't import, but first click this checkbox here to say apply to all duplicates, don't import. So what this means is that you're only going to get the new photos, the photos that you don't have in your Photos library. And now if you quit Photos, now every one of these you can just hit the Command key and delete to trash those. If you have a lot, like if you just imported 1,000 photos, give it a little more time to finish importing, but that just took care of all of the photos. Same thing with the videos. I would do the exact same process. Just get these videos down here into the Photos app. So open Photos, move it over like this, bring the videos into the library, and then no, I don't want duplicates, so I'll say apply to duplicates, don't import. And so that means that now these have been handled. And you can click on this, Command delete to move to the trash. So that downloads folder is already looking a whole lot better. So at this point, I would recommend slowing down a little bit. I know you're excited to be deleting things, but now we can check things a little more carefully. So a couple really good shortcuts here. If you want to see the contents of a file, you can just click it to highlight it once. And we're still in the Finder here. You highlight it once and then press spacebar on the keyboard. It gives you the quick look just to see what's in that file. And you press spacebar again to close it. So then you can use the arrow keys to go up and down on the keyboard. You go up and down like this and you hit spacebar to look into it, see what it is. Do you care? Do you not care? Things that you don't need, Command delete, send it to the trash, Command delete, Command delete, Command delete, Command delete. You get the idea. But let's say, here's an example of one that I've actually made changes to within the downloads folder. So these are the ones that are dangerous or you don't want to lose. You don't want to lose this. You compare the date added to the date modified. So the date added into the downloads folder was today at 9:56 a.m., but the date modified was after that. So that means that I made changes to this file while it was in the downloads folder. So this one I'm going to keep. I'm going to drag it over to my documents folder. But this is where you can start to make some more specific decisions about specific documents, but that is some helpful logic that you can use. Step 5, dealing with whatever is left. Some things you can just look at it and you know that you need to delete it, so you can click it and hit Command delete. Maybe it's a folder full of wedding photos, you want to add those into the Photos app. You just go into that folder, select all the photos and add them the same way that I showed in step number 3. But otherwise, just keep deleting, Command delete. I don't need this. I definitely don't need creepy bullshit, Command delete. If I want to preview these, again, it's spacebar on the keyboard to get a quick view into these documents here. Nope, I don't need that. But then let's say you're just not sure about these and you've run out of time. You don't want to think about them anymore. I would go Command N on the keyboard to make a new Finder window, and then make the new Finder window go into your Documents folder here, move it off to the side so you can see both downloads and documents. In the Documents folder, just go File and New Folder, and we'll call this one Downloads to sort more carefully when I have time. Haha, not likely, who am I fooling? And so now if you double click this folder and then just highlight or select this batch of downloads and then drag them over into this folder here. Now the downloads are clean. These documents that you still haven't sorted through, these do end up syncing into iCloud, so they're safe. You're not going to lose them, but at least they're out of your downloads folder, and maybe you will sort them one day. I hope you feel lighter and freer now with your downloads folder totally empty and clean. If you have some downloads that you're not sure about, if it's overwhelming and you just want some help getting through it, we would love to help you or just do it for you with you supervising and telling us what to do. You can book a time with me or someone from my team. We would love to help. Boom, Mac Epiphany. If you found this helpful and you want some private Mac coaching with me or someone from my team, just head to macinhome.com/booking. We work with people all over the world. We'll help you with whatever is on your Mac problems list, and you will never feel judged or shamed for whatever mess you're in. Yeah. Yeah. Whoa, graphic.